The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
It's time for the Daily Planet. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. So recently I did the Christmas facts. Guess what? I'm going to do something a little different now. I am going to do the New Year's facts. So what do we not know about New Year's? In fact, if you didn't get a chance, go back and check out part 1 and part 2 of those Christmas facts. So here we go. And I found these on the Good Housekeeping website. That's where they are the 30 things you never knew about New Year's. All right. I am Jimmy Olsen again. Thanks for joining me. So here we go. Number 1, Baby New Year is actually really old. So yeah, Baby New Year has been a symbol of the holiday since around 600 BC. This started with ancient Greece when an infant was paraded around in a basket in celebration of Dionysus, the god of fertility and wine, by the way. And the baby represented a rebirth that occurs at the start of each new year. So they're saying each new year is a new birth. So there you go. That is one. Baby New Year is actually really old and not always the same. It was a new baby every year. The guy credited with Auld Lang Syne did not fully write it. Yeah, remember the song? It's a song that we sing to bring in the year every year. It's Robert Burns took a Scottish folk song called Auld Lang Syne. Yeah, Auld Lang Syne, and put his own spin on it in 1788, which is the version we all know today as Auld Lang Syne, which means times long past. And that's kind of interesting. It didn't even really change it all too much. So it's, Auld Lang Syne, so it's AULDLANGSYNE, and of course it was Auld Lang Syne, OLD LONGSYNE. There you go, Robert, just repurposing things. Wait a minute, that's what I'm doing. I'm repurposing from goodhousekeeping.com. These are facts about New Year's, and this is the Daily Planet. I am Jimmy Olsen, and time balls were invented to help sailors. What? Time balls? Did you just say time balls? I said time balls. Long before it was ever used on New Year's Eve, a ball on the top of England's Royal Observatory in Greenwich was dropped at 1 p.m. every day. Now, this started in 1833 to help ship captains coordinate their navigation equipment. Now, similar balls were set up in coastal areas around the world as well. Yeah, they called them time balls, and we call it the New Year's Eve ball in Times Square, which, speaking of Times Square, the first Times Square New Year's party was thrown for a newspaper. That's what it says. This is according to Good Housekeeping. It says the annual tradition of gathering at Times Square for New Year's started as a party to celebrate the opening of the New York Times building in 1904, and over 200,000 people attended. Well, there you go. That's pretty cool as we are making our way through 30 facts, 30 things that we didn't know about New Year's. This is from Good Housekeeping. I'm Jimmy Olsen. You're listening to the Daily Planet. Thank you for listening. Now, though the parties raged on, there wasn't a ball drop. Yeah, they did not drop a ball until 1907. Fireworks were previously used to welcome the new year, but they were banned because burning embers were falling on the crowd. So a ball being lowered on a flagpole was a safer bet. So now it is the dropping of the ball rather than the shooting of the fireworks for New Year's to bring in the new year. So how did you bring in 2021 as we pushed out 2020? So it's been a spectacle every year since, except during World War II. And I think we know why for that. Yeah, wartime restrictions put the tradition on pause in 1942 and 1943. So Times Square revelers observed a moment of silence at midnight instead. Of course, here's the interesting thing. Even though they had the restrictions and they did the moment of silence, they still had the crowds of people in Times Square unlike for 2020 with the pandemic that we're going through right now. And maybe they should have thought of that moment of silence as well to bring in 2021. The Times Square ball's weigh has yo-yoed. Yeah, the weight has gone up and down. It's never weighed the same. It says the original ball was made from 700 pounds of iron and wood. It was later reduced to just 400 pounds of wrought iron before they switched to a aluminum frame in 1955. The now 11,875-pound ball did not get its new look and materials until the millennium, when Waterford partnered with Philips Lighting to create a shimmery LED display. So there you go. Even the Times Square ball has a weight problem. All right, we are going through some facts about New Year's, and I found these at goodhousekeeping.com. I'm Jimmy Olsen. You're listening to the Daily Planet. So the next one, Waterford comes up with the new ball. Actually, they come up with a new ball pattern every year. So now every year, they always have something different. Now, the spear, it's made up of 2,688 crystal triangles and has over 32,000 lights, and it also displays over 16 million. Wow, that is crazy. In fact, 2018's latest design is called the Gift of Serenity. And this was actually written back in 2017. So in 2018, the design was the Gift of Serenity, which includes cuts that resembled butterflies drifting through the air. So does that just kind of give you a calm peace as we go into 2021? But that's interesting. Yeah, displayed over 16 million displays. That is crazy. Yeah, 16 million color patterns is what the ball can do, and it changes every single year. 2,000 pounds of confetti are dropped into Times Square. I don't think I saw any confetti this year as I was rewatching everything. So yeah, every year but 2020. Confetti may not be a new concept, but this is back in 2015. They had the Wish-fetti. It became part of the tradition. People write their wishes for the new year and submit them to the wish wall in Times Square or online, and those wishes are turned into confetti that falls over the crowd at midnight. So that's normally what you would see as we bring in the new year, as we're going through the 30 facts, 30 things you did not know about New Year's. Found these on goodhousekeeping.com. And you're listening to the Daily Planet. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Thank you for following along on this. So instead of a ball, Miami, Florida rings in the new year with an orange. Well, isn't an orange still kind of a ball? It's round. Yeah, they raise. Well, of course, it doesn't drop. They raise. The raising of Mr. Neon, the 35-foot sunglass-clad metal fruit, has been a tradition for over 30 years. Well, maybe they raise it and it does drop. I don't know. But yeah, they're dropping oranges. So it's a different kind of ball, I guess. A ball that you can freshly squeeze and enjoy for breakfast at 12:01. While over in, Key West, Florida, a drag queen descends in a shoe. A shoe? What? Yeah, she actually appears in a shoe. A female impersonator named Sushi is lowered from a bar rooftop in a giant red high-heeled shoe, and they've been doing this since 1996. I haven't heard if that happened in 2020, but these are just some interesting facts about the New Year's and how it is celebrated and how things have happened over time. Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, this one makes sense. They drop a giant kiss to ring in the new year. Yes, a Hershey's Kiss. Other Pennsylvania towns have traditions that play off their names, like in Mechanicsburg, they drop a wrench. In Dillsburg, they drop a pickle. But in Hershey, they drop a kiss. I think they should just give everybody a kiss is what they need to do. But we're 30 different facts, 30 things that you may have not known about New Year's. In fact, Americans drink around 360 million glasses of sparkling wine on New Year's. So at midnight, the corks fly out of the bottle at the speed of 25 miles per hour, which I think we've heard this, so be careful. You can shoot your eye out. So it's best to open bottles at a 45-degree angle away from yourself and others. Yes, away from yourself and others. So do not do this after you've been, maybe you need to go ahead and open the champagne early in the day, like at noon, and then it just sits there all day. I'm just trying to keep you safe. The New Year's kiss, this actually started with the Romans. Did you know this? Yeah. Although things have gotten a little frisky since ancient Romans. Not that they weren't, frisky back then, if you read history, okay? Yeah, ancient Romans are credited with the kissing tradition because of their Saturnalia festival. It was a celebration honoring Saturn, the god of time, where all social norms went out the window, and many of the celebrations influenced, of course, Christmas and New Year's festivities that became the focus when Christianity took over the Roman Empire. So you can thank the Romans for your New Year's kiss. And the island of Kiribati reigns in the New Year first. Yeah, Kiribati, also known as Christmas Island, is located in the Central Pacific. They celebrate throughout the nation at each village, the Maniaba, or meeting house, where all social and political activity takes place. So they're the very first ones to ring in the new year. And then American Samoa is one of the last places to ring in the new year. In fact, American Samoa is actually the second last place to celebrate the new year, behind Baker and Howland Island, which are both uninhabited. Some tourists take advantage of the time difference by flying from Samoa to American Samoa to celebrate twice. Now, would you like to do that? Yeah, actually celebrate the new year twice. Very interesting. Here's something. New Year's is, of course, terrifying for children in Akita, Japan. You see a lot of those Japanese festivals, and they have the dragons, and a lot of the Asian festivals that do that, and the masks and everything. Okay, well, there's a local tradition called Namahaj, where grown men dress up like demons to scare children into behaving for their parents. So they go from house to house yelling things like, "Are there any crybabies at home?" or "Are naughty kids around here?" Wow. I don't know what I can say to that. Is talk about freaking the kids out coming in to start a new year. And if you live in Italy, all right, I'm going to stop. This is going to be part one. We're going to have a part two, and I finish these off, but I'm going to end with this one. If you live in Italy wearing red underwear, it is considered lucky. Yes, wearing red underwear on New Year's will supposedly bring good fortune in the coming year. It's also considered the color of fertility, so for those hoping to conceive, it's considered double lucky. So here's what I'm hoping. When you brought in 2021, everybody around the world was wearing their red underwear. That's what we're hoping. So we're not just in Italy. Everybody needed to be in those red undies. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Thank you for listening to The Daily Planet. And we've been going through the 30 different things that you may have not known about New Year's, and this is from goodhousekeeping.com. 30 things you never knew about New Year's. Again, this is an older article that I ran across, but I thought it to be kind of fun. But I'm going to finish off that list in part two of this podcast right here. So be sure to check that as well. You can, if you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to share it on social media. You can do that on, any of your favorite social media platforms. Follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter at My Buddy Jimmy, even on YouTube at My Buddy Jimmy 101. If you even find all my other podcasts, you can do that at mybuddyjimmy.com. Thanks for listening.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.